Hi, welcome to this essentials practice. It's called upper back flow. And there is a lot of flowing movement in the shoulders. It is meant to counter neck pain, shoulder pain, and we'll be doing a fair amount of moving in the shoulders. We'll also be doing some yin. We'll be coupling that with some yin practices for the legs. So let's begin. We're gonna start with a block and a strap, have those two at the ready, and let's lie on the back. Let's lie face up with your feet comfortably grounded on the floor, knees bent, and take hold of opposite elbows. And you're gonna lift the elbows up toward the ceiling. That's on in-breath. So inhale, lift your elbows up. And as you exhale, use one arm to draw the other one across. And that protracts the shoulder. So that's a stretch for the shoulder blade, between the shoulder blade and the spine. Inhale, you come back to center. We're alternating sides. So you use the one arm to draw the other one across. And inhale, you come back to center. So go back and forth like this a few times per side. And as you take your elbows in one direction, turn your head opposite. So if your elbows are going left, you turn your head right. And you're going to notice as the elbows come across, the shoulder blade protracts out to the side. One shoulder might feel a little bit tighter than the other one. Okay. Next time you come back to center, switch the lacing of your arms. So now the other arm is on top. And continue taking elbows opposite eyes on exhale. And so you notice differences between shoulders, shoulder blades. It might also be you can turn your head more easily to one side. So notice a couple more times in this linear fashion. And feel the ability for the shoulder blade to slide out to the side. Okay? Very good. And then come back to center. Instead of going side to side linear, we're now going to make circular movements like your elbows are drawing circles on the ceiling. Your head can follow your elbows. So take your head and elbows to the same side. And as you inhale, you're going to breathe, taking your elbows beyond your head, up to the top of the circle, essentially. And then exhale down the other side. You draw the other side of the circle down to the bottom. Bottom of the exhale is the bottom of the circle. And continue this fluid motion, this fluid circular motion, up to the top on inhale and down to the bottom on exhale. You don't have to lift your head at all. As the elbows are making the biggest circles that they can, the head's making a circular movement without needing to lift your head. So take a couple more breaths in this direction. Inhale, elbows go to the side and up. Exhale, elbows go to the side and down. Inhale, elbows go to the side and up. And then the next time you bring your elbows down to the bottom of the circle, change the lacing of your arms again, and then change the direction of the circle. So inhale up to the top of the circle. Exhale back down to the bottom. And try this a few times. So this, especially circular movements, is really good for adding circulation. So getting some blood and some lymph around the shoulders, around the shoulder blades, and around your neck. Okay, very good. And then you come to center, allow your hands to relax by your sides. Pause there for a moment, take a deep breath in, and exhale. Great, and then from here, lie on your side. It doesn't matter which side, I'll just be using the words top and bottom arm for this. But you're gonna lie on your side. And from here, the top hand's on the bottom hand. Now, as you slide the arm out, do you feel how your shoulder protracts? Okay? So we're going to start there on your exhale. And then you're going to inhale up to high noon. And you're going to keep the arm as long, making the biggest arc through space as you can to high noon. So straight up, your head follows. And then exhale, as you reach back, the shoulder's going to need to what's called retract, which is draw in toward the spine to get your arm back. That's breath number one. Breath number 2, you reach your arm back up to high noon, but instead of it going long, try your best to keep the shoulder blade retracted. So the arm is actually as short as you can make it. Exhale, keep your arm short as you land it, and then you go long. Okay, so it's a two-breath move. Inhale is the biggest arc you can make going back. Exhale, by the time you reach back there, the shoulder blade is retracted. Coming forwards, the shortest arc you can make. So keep your shoulder blade retracted as you bring your arm up, keep it retracted as you land, and then protract it. So it's a bit of a counterintuitive move, but try this. It really helps shoulder aches. So take a deep breath in as you reach up. It's the biggest arc you can make through space with your fingertips going back. And then the smallest arc you can make with a straight arm coming forward. So try that 2 or 3 more times here. So inhale is always up to high noon. Keep the shoulder blade retracted as you lift. Keep it retracted until it lands, and then you protract it way out. Okay, very good. So lie on the back for a moment. Just check out the difference between sides. Whichever side you worked on first, typically the most common comment I get is that it just feels like there's more space and the shoulder blade is able to relax a little bit further away from your spine. All right, great. And so let's try that on the other side. I'm going to turn around for demonstration purposes. You don't have to. But you're going to be on your side. And you're going to slide your hand as far forward as you can. And that's going to start the move. So inhale, you're going to protract the shoulder. That's the biggest arc you can make going back. So up to high noon on inhale. Exhale, you reach back behind you. In order to do this, you're going to just kind of naturally wind up drawing your shoulder blade in. From here, you keep the shoulder blade retracted as you come back up to high noon. So going back, my arm is tall. Coming forward, my arm is as short as I can make it. Exhale, I land it on my other arm, and then I slide forward. Inhale, up to high noon. Keep the arch nice and big as you go back. The shoulder blade will retract. Keep your shoulder blade retracted as you come back up to high noon. Keep it retracted also as you land, and then when it lands, then it's off to the races. You slide your fingers as far forward as you can. Inhale up to high noon. Biggest arc you can make through space going back. The smallest arc you can make through space coming forward. And once the hand lands, then you race it out. So try this 1 or 2 more times. This 2-part breath. Very good. Okay, very good. So the next time you race it out, end by lying on the back and noticing how your shoulder blades feel already. My hope is there's more feedback, it's more sensate, there's more feelings on your upper back. Very good. Okay, and then come forward to hands and knees, and on hands and knees, let's take a couple shoulder blade rolls. So the arms stay straight, and you're going to make the biggest shoulder blade circles that you can. So the spine doesn't necessarily have to move a lot. Okay, it's really the shoulder blades making some big movements. And after a couple circular movements in the shoulder blades, one direction, take the opposite direction. Yeah, there's the ability for the shoulder blades to move. Is one shoulder blade a little more flexible? Does it occupy more space on the back? All right. And then from here, you can take one hand forward, other arm slides underneath for threading the needle. So from here, you're going to reach as far out as you can. And as you're reaching out, breathe into that bottom shoulder. All right, so just 2 breaths here. Take a big inhale, big exhale. And one last time. Okay, and use your free hand to press back up. Same thing on the other side. One hand forward, other arm slides underneath. And as you reach out, breathe into your bottom shoulder. Good. And from there, use your free hand to press into the floor. All right, we're gonna come up into some type of virasana. If this does not work, just sit cross-legged. We're gonna do some more shoulder practices, but sitting on the heels is one of our 2 yin poses today for the legs, essentially. If virasana, if it works to sit in between your heels, that's fine. And we'll be using the strap for our arms, so if you would like to sit on the block, you can always do that as well, okay? But I'll keep the block to the side and sit down. So have your strap at the ready. We won't use it right away. But from here, and so we're gonna take one arm up, okay? And the other arm's gonna swing underneath, okay? Now if you're able to, you hold eagle arms, palms, one set of fingers on the palm, okay? If you're not able to clasp, you just take hold of the strap in your upper arm, lower arm swings underneath, like this, okay? I will just demonstrate like this. Don't worry about how high the elbows are going up. Send the elbows forward. And if you send the elbows forward, you're now protracting the shoulders, okay? So elbows away from sternum. You can then tuck your chin, round your back a little, and now breathe into your mid-back. Okay, good. One last breath here. Take an inhale. Exhale. All right, and then loosen up your arms by taking your palms down. Take a couple shoulder blade rolls in one direction. Shoulder blade rolls in the other direction. Okay, and then you take the opposite arm to start. If you're using a strap, hold the strap in the top arm. Okay, accompanying arm slides underneath, and either A holds the strap, or sans strap, you take your fingerprints to your palm, okay? Don't worry about how high the elbows go up. If it feels better like this, go ahead and take it, but really send your elbows forward, and that protracts the shoulders. From there, you can tuck your chin, round your upper back, and breathe into the space between your shoulder blades. Yeah, and there's 2 more breaths. Take a big inhale. Take a big exhale. And one last time. Okay, great. And then unwind, hands down, take a couple shoulder blade rolls in one direction, shoulder blade rolls in the other direction. We'll be in this pose for one more piece of arm work, and that's taking the strap in one hand, other hand reaches back behind you, and first we're gonna press, the arms are straight on this one. So one arm presses up, the other arm presses back, and you squeeze your shoulder blades in. Now this strap is meant to steady what really, my hope is it feels like, you know, that yawning, that archetypal yawn stretch where you squeeze your back body. The strap should be there to help sustain that pose. So the arms are stretching, arms are straight. Now you retract your shoulder blades. That's squeeze them together. As the arms go long, you're gonna lift your lungs a little bit and take a few breaths here. Okay? If going back too far feels bad for the shoulders, you just add some more slack to the strap. Okay? But extend your arms in opposite directions. If it feels okay, you can cinch in on the strap and your arms will go further back. Okay? Great. So one last breath in the stretches around your shoulders. Okay, and then we try that on the other side. So switch hands. So the other arm is up, and that arm is straight and strong. The other arm, take hold of the other side of the strap. And you're gonna draw the shoulder blades in, arms straighten, and this should, it might even make you yawn, which in that case, just yawn it out. So your shoulder blades are retracted, arms are expanding. Okay, and if you yawn, that's great. Otherwise, breathe in and out through the nose, into the shoulders, into the stretch around your chest. And once again, if it's too intense, you take some slack so the arms don't have to go as far back. If you are more flexible, you clasp the strap a little tighter, and you take the arms up in opposite directions and back. So 2 more breaths. Take a big inhale, big exhale, and one last time, breath in. Okay, great. From there, release a couple shoulder blade rolls in one direction, other direction. Okay, and then come out of this, take your time, and from there, come to seated. The second yin practice for the legs is Samakonasana. So legs as wide as you'd like, okay? If it feels like you're falling back, perhaps some of these arm movements might not be possible, but if it feels like you're falling back, you might want to sit up on something or just bend your knees a little bit. So those are options there. But legs wide, slide your sitting bones back. And my hope is that you can sit upright for this one, okay? Great. So from here, the top arm can hold the strap, it gets draped behind you, and you reach back with your other arm, okay? This is Gomukhasana arms. And you can start crawling your hands toward one another, holding the strap, top arm, draw your shoulder blade in and up, and then you're gonna breathe here. If it makes sense, and if you don't need the strap, reach your arms behind you, clasp your hands, and you can hold like this, okay? So draw your shoulder blades in, lift your lungs up, and we're gonna pause here, either clasping hands or bridging the gap with a strap between top hand and bottom arm. Okay, so 3 more breaths here. Take a big inhale, big exhale, deep breath in, big exhale, and one last time, breath in. Okay, let go, draw your shoulder blades in and press your arms in opposite directions. Again, like the yawning stretch, squeeze your shoulder blades in. And exhale from there, hands to thighs, take a couple of shoulder blade rolls in one direction, shoulder blade rolls in the other direction. And again, strap in the other arm, and the strap gets draped behind you. If you're using it, both hands have the strap, and you can cinch in on the strap, crawl your arms closer together, as long as that's okay for your shoulders, okay? If you don't need it, top hand and bottom hand clasp, such. And if it's okay for your top shoulder, draw the elbow point inward and up, okay? So you're gonna draw the shoulder blades in, lift your lungs, and breathe into the shoulder space, what's getting a stretch here. So shoulder joint, perhaps around the chest. And there's a few breaths here. Very good. Take a deep breath in. Okay, great. And then from here, you can let go of the strap, and like the yawning stretch, you're going to stretch the arms in opposite directions. Huge inhale here. Okay, very good. And then from there, release your hands to the floor behind you, if it's available, in front of you if it's available, and take a couple of shoulder blade rolls in one direction, shoulder blade rolls in the other direction. Okay, and if your hands are behind you, you can press your hands into the floor, lift your lungs, breathe in the chest. If it's available, you can start sliding your hands forward and round your back a little. And this is the last practice here. So a few breaths here. If you are able to lean forward, you can round your spine, perhaps even tuck your chin. If you're back, if it feels like you need some support behind you, of course, breathe into chest. So kind of depending on where you are, you might breathe a little differently from side to side. And 2 more. Take a deep inhale. Big exhale. And one last time. Okay, great. And then come back up from there. All right. Very good. So I hope that felt like a nice, refreshing practice for your shoulders, your upper back, your neck, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Thank you so much. Take care. Namaste.